Hello everyone. Um, can you see me clearly? Um, can you hear me also? Let me know if you can see me or hear me. It's so good to be here today, and I'm happy that we can make it happen again today to meet together. Let me know once you can hear me or see me. I just want to be sure I'm not the only one online today. Okay. So while we wait a little bit for some other people to join us, I would just try to do one or two technical things from my end so that today runs smoothly as expected. And today we'll be starting today with investment questions. And once you have these questions, if there's any other question you have, just let me know. I would be more than happy to treat these questions. Don't mind me if I look at my system. I have my computer right in front of me, so don't mind me if I look down a little bit, because then maybe I'm trying to read questions or I'm trying to make sure that everything is fine. But I just want to be sure you can hear me. Please just drop me a message telling me, just show me some love, please. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to be treating like two questions, not just two questions, but I received basically like two questions, and those two questions, to answer them, it's quite big. So, and I don't want us to overshoot our time. And that's why I would just focus on those two questions. However, before I go into those two questions, the last time we met, I think on Tuesday, there were two questions that we answered quite right. But then I felt like after that day, like later in the evening, I took time to like once again ruminate over that question, and there were one or two things I would also love to point out from those questions. So I would just start right away. I'll start right away from where we left on Tuesday to shed more light on the question I mentioned. And and if you have any question from your side while I talk, please do not hesitate to drop them. I would be more than happy to answer those questions for you, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. So one of the questions we had last time was a question of real estate. The person was asking, how can it was a she, how can she invest in real estate? And what are the things she should look at? And then I said that, of course, she doesn't want to just look for it. One of the things that she should look out for is if that place, that real estate, would be developed. I mean, if the area, the structure where he or she is buying that particular good would be sometime in the future developed. And we spoke a lot about it, because sometimes the person is from Nigeria and the person is based in Abuja. And I told the person, if she's going to buy from a developer, she should try to find out if the developers would not just sell the land, but they would also be interested in building on the land themselves. So if they do that, it gives you as an investor a better chance of actually not just buying a piece of land and not having it developed for so long, but because the developers are also building in that place, it could mean that there's higher chance that that place will be developed. And you can also, get the chance of actually having the areas where you're buying into quickly develop. And that is what would actually make sense as an investor for you. So that was how I answered that question. But then after the session, something dropped in my mind to say that, even in real estate, it depends on what exactly is your goal. For every investment, we have to have a kind of, we have to be able to understand what is our goal for. Thank you, Samson, for for saying a hi. Thank you. So what I'm saying is that in any investment we make, there has to be some sense of goal, right? You have to understand what is your goal for going into this investment. If you don't have clarity about your goal before investing, don't do it. Do not do it. Make sure you are clear about why you are investing, because that helps you a lot to know if that investment is worth it or it is not worth it. Okay, now back to this example of real estate. So what came to my mind was that, okay, it's actually not a bad idea if you buy a piece of land. I hope the lady joins us again this evening. It's actually not so that she can hear this. It's actually not bad for someone to buy a piece of land in a place that is not so developed, which would be developed maybe like 10 years or something like that. It's not bad. But then you just know that as you're making that investment, just know that, okay, you know what, I'm not buying this piece of land or this property to live in it, right? I'm buying it just maybe because of capital appreciation. You just buy it and say, okay, 10 years later, I would see, I might not be able to build a house on it, but maybe I will sell it off at some, increase in the investment. So that is another way of looking at real estate. So for example, if you are investing in real estate to build on that property and to live on it, right? You want to live, or you think, okay, you want to build on it to rent it out. Then you are obviously looking for something that will not lie fallow for so long before it's been developed. And that's why you wouldn't want to invest in a place it's far from civilization and there's no infrastructures that can actually make that property appreciate. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying, but that is something very important that you need to look at when you're investing in terms of where you yourself are going to live in. But if it's just a kind of investment, like, okay, you just don't want to have the cash with you, you want to invest in something that would help your capital to increase at some point so that you can get some ROI, some return on investment on it, then you want to look at a way of saying, you know what, maybe it helps me to not necessarily look for somewhere that is really, really developed, because maybe that place that's really developed will be more expensive. Let me look for somewhere, some cheap land outside a developed area, and then leave it there, probably fence it around or do some things there to make sure that you are the owner of that place. I mean, to secure it, and then after some years you can sell it off at a better price. So that's another way of looking at real estate investment. So the point is, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to buy your real estate where there are so many other structures in place. My point is, you can also buy your real estate where there are not so many other structures in place, because it's just an investment for you and you hope to sell it off some other time and gain back your capital and with interest of investment on it. All right. So I hope that answers that question. As we go ahead, if you have any question that you would like me to talk about, please do not hesitate to drop them. I will look at them and I would look at them and then answer your question. The next thing would be that so let me go straight into one of the main questions I have today that I received for this particular live session. The person asked, I have some amount of money which I need for an upcoming project. However, I would like to invest it pending the time I will need it for this upcoming project. what do I need to consider before making this investment? That was the question, or that is the question. So this person we have is saying that, you know what, I have some amount of money, and this money is not is not a money that doesn't have a goal. It's a money that has a goal, because it's a money maybe I need to use it for a particular thing, a project. So maybe, for example, the money is needed for paying of school fees, for example, or offsetting some kind of bill that will come up in the future, right? And or yeah, offsetting for some kind of bill, or a particular money that you needed for something, for a particular project in the future. But the person doesn't want to hold the cash with him, and the person is asking, what can I do, or how do I consider making an investment with this money, right? Of course, the person wants to make sure that while he's investing, he doesn't want to lose that money. So he wants to make sure that, okay, he will invest the cash, but then whatever comes, he's able to get his interest back. And at the end of the day, he's also able to pay for the project in the future. He doesn't want to lose the money. That is the concern of the person asking this question. So I would say that before you consider any form of investment, when you are generally, whether you are in this kind of situation or when you're looking at investing generally, one of the first things you want to look at is, you want to look at four things. You want to look at what kind of fund do you have. You want to look at the time frame that you have to do the project that you're considering, right? You also want to look at the market that you are currently located, whether it's an emerging market or you are in a let me say in the Western world, right, where their market is even more stable and there are more stable regulations concerning investments. You want to look at that. And then the other thing you want to look at is, what are the opportunities, right? Those four things are the things you want to consider before investing your money at all. So now to the issue of fund. This person has this money with him and he's saying, okay, I want to invest this money, right? But this money is not just for this investment, it's for me to pay off my children's school fees in the next 6 months or in the next 1 year, right? Because it's a lump sum of money. So that fund, you want to say, the case of fund is that you look at, is this fund something I can lose or not? Like, so for example, if it's a fund that somebody just gave it to you, or like you didn't really budget for it and then you just have that money, maybe some sudden business happens and I wouldn't say it is not hard earned, but I would say that if it's like you just got the money unbudgeted for, but you got some money, right? There's some money we get like that. Maybe you get some bonuses from work, or you get some very nice interest from a particular business you did, or somebody just said, okay, you know what, I want to bless you with this amount of money, and the person just gives you that money, right? The way you feel about that money, this kind of money, is different from the kind of money whereby you've saved, you've saved and saved and saved before you are able to gather that money. There are two kinds of funds, right? The money that it's easy for you to gain, right, to get, and the ones that, it took you time, it took you sweat to put it together. An example of it here would be, for example, someone with a gratuity, right? Someone that has a gratuity, it means that this person has worked for years. That's like the retirement fund for this person. This person, the way or the kind of carefulness, permit me to use the word, this person would use or would take into consideration for that fund will be different from someone who has same amount, but it's not his gratuity. It's just some money he got from some business, and then the thing just like happened and everything worked fine and it worked. So there are two different kind of funds. So you need to find out, okay, is this fund my life money? Is this for my life fund? Or is this fund is something that's okay? Even if anything happens, I'm okay. So you have to think about it carefully. What kind of fund is it? Of course, whatever kind of fund it is, you shouldn't be looking at losing money. But then I think you understand what I'm saying, that you have to be sure what kind of fund it is, because it is really important. Because imagine someone who has a gratuity and that person loses that gratuity, I mean, it could lead to some very bad things happening to that person, right? So you want to know what kind of fund you're dealing with here. And another example here would be that, for example, someone, maybe if that money is a school fees, right? If that huge money you have is your school fees, you would want to really consider what kind of investment you want to put it in. Because if that school fees goes down the drain, you'll be in trouble. So those are some of the things you want to consider, right? So the way you would undo a school fees, right? A money or a fund that is meant to pay school fees will be different from the way you would undo some cash somebody just gives you. There are two different kind of funds, and that is what I am talking about. I hope these two things make sense. So that's the first thing you want to consider. And one important thing you want to consider here is this term I would call effect of loss, right? You want to look at what is the effect on me if this money gets lost. If the effect is not so much, that, okay, this thing will not break your heart so much, then okay, maybe you want to take more risk with that fund. But if you know that, okay, this is my life, I cannot afford to lose this money, then you want to make sure you want to make sure you are very diligent, really, really diligent in apportioning it to any kind of investment. Okay, I hope that it's clear. So that's the first thing you want to be sure of. You want to be sure of what kind of fund it is. The second thing you want to look at is the time frame. I said that so the time frame in terms of, okay, I said that fund that this person was asking about is the money, the person wants to use that money for a particular project, maybe in 1 year. He wants to use to pay school fees in 1 year. Which means that whatever thing that investment would be, that investment has to be able to produce that fund back within that 1 year, right? And so, which means the time frame for your investment, every investment should have a time frame, right? The time frame for your investment should align with the time frame of that you would need that money. Because it doesn't make sense for you to say, okay, so let's go back to the needing the money for school fees. So it doesn't make sense, for example, for when it is now 1 year, right? And we need to pay school fees and the investment is not yielding yet. Maybe the investment will yield like in another 1 year, right? And meanwhile, the school fees needs to pay this year because the schools will not wait for you to say you are doing some investment. Nobody will wait for you. They want their school fees paid fast. So the investment comes in another 1 year. That's too late. And then you start thinking to go and borrow. Of course, when you're borrowing, you have to pay some interest to the person you are borrowing from the bank. For example, they will collect interest from you, from lending houses or whatever cooperative. You would have to pay back some interest, right? And you would be in so much more trouble if the interest that you have to pay on the amount you borrowed is higher than the interest you will gain after 2 years of your investment. That means you're running some kind of loss, right? So you want to make sure. So the point is that you want to make sure that you are the investment you want to invest in, whatever you want to invest in, or the tool, the product you want to invest in at that point in time should match the time at which you would need back your funds. It's really important. Okay, so I think that sinks in. Let me know if there's anything you need to clarify, anything I need to clarify for you. I'll be more than happy to clarify this for you. Okay. The other thing I said is that you need to consider what kind of market are you operating like. What kind of market are you going to invest that money into? So when we talk about market in investments, it means not the market where it's market where you buy and sell, but not the general market that you go to the grocery store, you go to the kind of market, the Oshodi kind of market. Not that, in this case, like the general system where you operate. So your market might be a kind of country, or state, or where people trade investment products. So you need to consider what kind of market are you operating in. If it's a market that is very volatile, which means anything can happen, for volatile markets means you can have very high returns on your investment and you can have very low returns on investment. Depends on which side of the bed the people making the policies wake up on, right? So if it's a market that is really volatile, you want to be sure that whatever happens, your investment is still safe enough that you are able to get back your investment within the time frame that you wanted it, right? So if it's a more stable market that's not so volatile, right, which you should have more confidence, say, okay, whatever happens, I know I'm getting this particular money out. But if it's a market that is volatile, right, you could be having hypertension or coronary every day, right? Because you don't know what would happen in another 1 month and in another 1 week and in another 3 months. And that's why I want to make sure that, okay, point 4 is you want to be sure that you are investing in something that the market is stable and you are able to get back your investment at the planned time you wanted it. That is really, really important. I hope that is clear. That question is clear. And the other part, the fourth thing I said I would mention here is that opportunities. You want to, so for example, now you have this fund and you want to be sure, are there opportunities to invest in, right? Of course, there are always opportunities to invest in. But then it's now your duty to test these opportunities. Are they worth your investment or not? Right? Because you would hear of different opportunities every time new opportunities come in, but then they might not necessarily be for you. They might not necessarily suit what you need. And if you cannot find an opportunity that suits what you need, then it's better you put your money gently in a savings account and know, okay, your money is breathing and whenever you need it at that time, you can get it back. So of course, it depends on what opportunities are available for you, but then you need to be sure that you are taking charge of the right opportunities and don't be desperate. Let me put it this way. Don't be desperate to to invest. Don't be desperate to invest. Investment is for people that are calm and they are intentional, right? Be calm and be intentional about it. Because when you're impatient or when you're not calm, there is very high likelihood that you would make mistakes. I hope that sinks in. So it has to be, you have to do it in a very calm way and be intentional about it because that's the only way you can actually get what you are looking for. All right. I hope that's okay. And I hope I'm able to answer your question, that particular question. So the question I just talked about is the question of, okay, I have some money which I intended to use for an upcoming project in 1 year. But before that upcoming project, I want to invest that money. That was the question. And I mentioned the time of the 4 things that person should consider before investing in anything. That is, what kind of fund is it? What is the time frame that he or she needs the money? What is the market that the person is trying to invest in? Is it volatile or a very stable market? And the 4th thing is that what are the opportunities available? And like I said again, investment doesn't have to be done in a hurry. No, don't do it in a hurry. Do it calculated, intentional, and with patience. Okay. All right. So I would go to the next question, which is a question I received on career. If you have any question regarding finance, personal finance, and investment or debt or savings, drop them. I will pick them up and then yes, I'll pick them up and then we can talk about it. But then the next question that we'll be talking about is a question on career. Okay, the question says, I would like to change my current career to data science. What can I do? Yes, I like talking about data science because I think it's not just the future. It's already happening. It's already a present thing. It is today and it is tomorrow kind of career. So if you are not yet in that line, like if you're still thinking if you want to go into it, please do, because that's one of the top careers for the future, for tomorrow. Those are one of the careers you will need, that would count, because data is a new oil, right? I think in the 90s, in the 2000s, early 2000s, people are still chasing a lot of oil career. But I can tell you that the new oil is data. And there are companies, there are organizations, there are governments looking for people who have skills in this area, right? People who can crunch data, people who can analyze and visualize and explore and represent and present it in a from very scattered manner, right, into very clear-cut manner that would make interpretation easy. Those are the companies are looking for. People who understand data and can interpret it, can read it and interpret it. And I can tell you, if you have this skill set, if you know about this particular career path, you are an hotcake like this. You don't stay in the market. Even if you just know just a little bit of it, you're an hotcake, right? So, and that's why I was really happy to when I got this question. So one of the first things I would say is that for this particular question is that I will look at it in two ways, either as an experienced person or a newbie. I call it a newbie, somebody who doesn't really have experience working, right? And to answer this question, as an experienced person, I would advise that you look at an area of your current working experience or your current career path. Look at an area of your current career path and see how that area, and find out which of those areas within your current career path matches up with data science. So for example, if you're in human resources, you want to look at how human resources uses data analytics. Because the thing is, you have the experience of human resources, right? And there's an overlap of data, because in human resources also you need to understand the figures about the people. The same thing, for example, if you're in marketing, because I know somebody who is in marketing who is in this call. The same thing happens if you're in marketing. Okay, you're into brand marketing, or you're into trade marketing, or you're into customer marketing or retail marketing. Whichever marketing you are, look at how, and today I can tell you that a lot of marketing is actually also based on data. If you don't have data, there is no way you are able to market that product very well. So you would do well for yourself if you look at how you can how you can match your core marketing with data, right? With data science, with explaining data, with data engineering, with making sense out of scattered data and trying to make some business sense out of it, right? So those are examples. So whatever, like I said, there is always a line. There's always an interdisciplinary intersection between what you're doing now and and data, because it's all about figures. There is no part of the business that you are in that doesn't have something to do with figures. So look for that part and, develop your expertise on that area. And that is how you can easily switch as an experienced person from whatever you're doing now into data science. Because the thing is, and then you have an advantage kind of, because you have the let me say the technical skills of your former career path. For example, for the HR person, has the technical skills of human resources, right? In terms of maybe recruiting or in talent management or in business partnering or in policies and processes. This person understands all those things. And now when the person starts to move towards data science, right? And starts with, and the person starts from, okay, seeing how data affects living management, how data affects recruiting, how data affects workforce planning. You now have a kind of center, a kind of touch point between human resources and data, and then gradually you can move then into data science. It is possible, right? So that is, I hope this explanation makes sense for you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate, just drop them. I would pick them up. So that's the first thing. Make sure you look for an intersection. The second thing you want to look for is that you look out for is that you want to look at getting some certifications, maybe not necessarily certifications, but doing some online courses. Take some online courses in data science. Start from the easy ones, from Python, from R. There are some that you can even learn free of charge. Go to Udemy, learn from them. And one thing is that one of the complaints I get is that but there are no projects to practice. Today I got a link to a particular website that can give you different suggestions about different projects that you can do on that data science. If you are interested, I will send you the link. Just drop me a chat. I would be more than happy to share this link with you. So what this website has done is that they've created different projects that you can work on, and they've clustered it into, if you're a beginner or an intermediate person or an advanced person in data science. So by working on these different projects, you are exposed to the different complexities around data science. And then these projects are actually real life projects. So it gives you a sense of what is possible and what is not possible. What are the things you can expect as a data science person? So like I said, if you're interested, drop me a link on the chat or in the comment section. If you are seeing this video after we are done with the live chat, drop me a message. I will be more than happy to share with you. Okay. All right, and then the other thing you want to do is that you want to include, so now you located the intersection between what you're doing and data science. You're getting trainings, taking courses, you're practicing, doing projects. The other thing you want to do is you want to include that certification or that training you've done, that you've completed, those projects that you've completed. You want to, of course, spread the word, put it out there on your LinkedIn profile, on your Facebook, on your resume, on your CV, to say, okay, I did this. You want to include them so that people who are looking at your profile will know that you have interest on it, because you have interest and you have experience in that topic. Because the thing is, if you don't put those things there, if you don't put it on your LinkedIn profile, you don't put it on your CV or your resume, nobody's going to know that you've been doing something in that area, and they will not even bother offering you. They might not even go the extra mile to ask you. So that is why it is really important that you include it, make it intentional, include it on your profile and let people see it, comment on it, shout it out there, and, things would fall into place most times on its own when you do that. Okay. Another thing you could also do is that you can create a website, have a website for yourself, and some of those projects, I mentioned that there are some places that you could get free projects that you can work on. Some of those projects you've worked on, put it on that website, right? And share, right? Share it on your profile, share it, and maybe somebody's just Googling about something and they just put in a particular keyword and your website pops up. And that's how you develop expertise. That's how you become an expert in that particular field. All right? Or maybe, in fact, you could put your website, the website you created, you could put it on your CV, right? Because you might not be able to say everything you've done in data science as a newbie on your CV. Just put a link there that, okay, yeah, to know more about the work I've done, go to this link. People check. If I'm looking at somebody's CV and somebody says, okay, to know more about me, go to this. I click on that link and I'm wowed at what people do in their private spaces, right? So I think it's something you should do if you are interested in switching careers. Create a website for yourself. It's not so expensive to do one. Just create something simple, put your details there, Put the things that you've done there. Showcase your work. You know, the same way you go to art gallery to see those works that people do. Exactly. Do the same for yourself. Turn your CV into an art gallery that people that are interested in your work would see. And that is how you get new jobs, new connections, new networks. You build a voice in your field. That is what you should do if you're an experienced person looking to switch careers from whatever you are right now into a new career. All right, so that is for an experienced person. Now for an intern, for a newbie, maybe I don't know, maybe I think you have it might even be easier for you because you're just starting, so you're not yet so deep need into one particular profession, particular career path. So what I would do is that I would suggest is that instead of you looking for an intersection between what you're doing and what you're not doing, where you want to go to, just go hardcore and learn about data science. Go online. There are thousands and I don't know of resources out there that you can, and they are free, that you can learn to build that expertise. Be intentional and be very intensive about it. Learn. Join groups, join chat groups, join Telegram, join Facebook groups, join all the groups in the world that you can connect with people who have the same intention like you have, like who are in data science or who want to be in data science. Find those groups on Facebook, on Instagram, on Telegram, on all the grams. Look for those groups and join them. And then you just don't join them and read chat. No. Be active. Ask questions. Go on Stack Overflow. Ask questions. Right? Do a small project. Put it up. Ask for feedback. That is how you build expertise. I read in one of the Facebooks, one woman said in March she wanted to improve. She realized that that's our finances is not just cutting the thing for her anymore. So she realized that she needs to up her game in terms of finances. And one of the things she has to do was that she needed to of course earn more. Yeah, just simply earn more money. That's what she realized. That's what she needs to do. So what she did was she went online and she said, I have interest in designing. So she went online and downloaded Canva. She looked for Facebook groups on Canva. She joined them and she started practicing on her own. Started practicing. And then 5 months down the line, she said that she has made, she did a screenshot of how much she has made. This woman has made approximately $3,700 from a skill she started learning 5 months ago, maybe in March. Maybe I think when the COVID lockdown started. She had made $3,700 from just designing things on Canva. And she said she was very honest. She said what she uses is just Canva, and she just started actually learning it as at the time of the lockdown, in March or something. And that now that she knows this is what this can do, that she would train her daughter to also, get into it, and they will do it together. So my point is, what I'm trying to point out for you, or what I'm trying to call out for you, is that if you are interested in a new career path or in a new thing, you think, this thing, if I do it, it will bring money. All you need is be committed and look for those resources. They are free. This woman didn't go to any school, didn't have to pay for any courses, did not buy any online course. Right? This person did not buy any online course, just joined groups, downloaded Canva, and started learning how to create templates, how to create things, and then put it up. and then started creating journal for someone. Started creating beautiful, nice things. And then in 5 months, 5 months down the line, this man has like 3,700 for just as pastime. I don't know if that sinks in, right? But my point is that the same thing if you're looking to switch careers or you're looking to do something new, just go for it. The resources are out there. They are free. You could get free resources. Get free resources. Join groups. Ask questions. Put your project up. Ask for feedback. Get the feedback. Use it. And keep getting better. And then find a way to monetize your skills. Okay. Good. I don't know if you have any other question. So if you're thinking of how to monetize your skills, so I would send you. I will drop I'll drop a link in this video in the description part. I'll drop a link. You can click on that link and register on a platform where you can work as a freelancer. You know, it's a freelancing platform. Click on it and then register, and you could get some I'll say some freebie for registering, right? Some freebie for registering, and then you could also get some freebie for registering, and then you could see how it is done out there, because you don't have to have a corporate job before, or have your own big business before you start earning, before you start making some income for yourself. Rather, from that little place where you are, you can start from there, and all you need is dedication, commitment to whatever you're doing, and you see results. Just be committed and dedicated. You would see results. Okay, and I wanted to share this quote with you, which says, luck is when opportunity meets you prepared and you take action. You know, so when people say, okay, the person is lucky. No, the person is not lucky. The person just was prepared, right? By learning the required skills, the person identified that there was an opportunity. The person didn't sleep or close his eyes. The person realized the opportunity and took action. Because the thing is, there are people that if you're not, they might not be prepared, and they see opportunities, and the opportunities will pass them by. And there are people that they will be prepared, they will identify the opportunities, but they will not take action. But then you become lucky, in quotes, when you're prepared. You learn about this data science that we just talked about today. You learn about it, and an opportunity comes after you've done one or two projects. An opportunity comes for a bigger project. And you don't say, okay, I don't have the skill set. You say, okay, yeah, I know that I'm not yet 100% there, but I'm ready to give it a go. That is what happens in most cases when you think people are lucky. They are not. They just took action, and they were prepared, and they identified the opportunities. All right. Do you have any question at this point, or can I share one other thing with you? Or can we call it a day? Okay. I'm not getting anything from you, so I would just say, am I getting anything from anyone? Okay, since I'm not getting anything from anyone. The last question I would treat today would be, this person is asking, how can I make, okay, thank you, Sam. How can I make money work for me? Okay, this person is asking, how can I make money work for me? Okay, how can you make money work for you? Well, one of the ways you can make money work for you would be to invest. So the thing is, it's either you are working for money, which means you're trading your time for money, or you can trade your time for money by, maybe if you have a 9 to 5, right? Or you are also, maybe you are doing business. When you're doing business and you're actively involved, you're also trading your time for money, because that time that you're using to work in that business, you could use it for something else, right? So you are still trading time for money. However, one of the main ways that you can, or major ways that you can make money work for you, would be that you engage in investing. Invest. Whatever product that is. I have a couple of videos about investment ideas for people who are just starting and all of that. Go and check this channel. So for that. So the thing is, you have to know how to invest. Okay, thank you, Sam. The thing is, you need to know how to invest, right? You need to know how to invest to make your money work for you. Because the thing about investment is that when you say you are investing, you are not actively involved in the day-to-day running of that business or product that you've invested in. You're not the one making the decisions. All right? So for example, you buying stocks of companies or shares, you're just buying the shares. You're not working actively in that company, maybe, or you're not making active decisions about how to run that company. But at the end of the day, when there's profit from that company, right, because you've invested, you get some dividends. And even if you don't get dividend, maybe the share price would increase. And if at some point you decide to sell off your shares or your stocks, you would see that change, right? Change in whatever you invested in the first place and what you are taking out from it right now, right? But during that time that you invested, you are not daily engaged in that business. And that is how money works for you, right? So there are so many ways you can invest. You can invest, I just shared one example now, in stocks. You can invest in real estate. You can invest in people's businesses. You can invest in ideas. You can be an angel investor. You can invest in fixed income markets. You can invest in so many things. There are so many tools with which you can invest for. If you have any other question, please let me know. For you to know more about what are the different areas or different places you can invest in, check out my videos in this channel, and then I can also add 1 or 2 investment videos that I've done in the past. I can put it up here, and then you can see and choose which one works for you. Okay. If there are no other questions, Sam is saying he would give his contribution later. Okay. Thank you very much. I would like to stop here for now, and maybe we'll have another time together next Tuesday. Yes, because currently I have so much time on my hand, not just to travel, but I have time to do things that I like discussing these topics with you, because I think these topics are things that we cannot afford to neglect. We cannot afford to ignore, because if we ignore it, it will come back to us later. When we ignore it, we are not able to do anything. And then if we don't take care of our personal finance now, of our career now, when are we going to be able to do that? And so that's why I like having these discussions and sharing with you and seeing how we can move forward and do better in terms of personal finances, in terms of our career, and in terms of other things that I think is front burner for you, my listeners, or my subscribers, or my fans. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being there this evening. Like I said, if you're interested in having that link about the data science project, where you can get data science project if you're trying to switch, just drop me a note. I would send you the link, and then I would also drop my freelancing link for you, so that you can also sign up and market or make use of your skill set, right? monetize your skill set. Let me put it that way. Monetize your skill set, because you have so much in you that you can actually trade, right? And the thing is, if you don't, if you might think, okay, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if you don't have money, you cannot invest. And how do you have money? It's either somebody gives you, which doesn't happen every day, which is not always secured, or with better assurance, or you get working. Either you are working a 9 to 5 or you are doing a business. And it is from there that you can have money to invest. And that is why I talk about it, because it's something that, for me, it's front burner. It's something that I think we should discuss. We should not sweep it under the carpet. We should discuss it. We should, call each other out and think deep about these decisions, because time doesn't wait for nobody, and we should learn to make hay while the sun shines. All right, guys, thank you so much for being part of this video tonight. Thank you for being a part of this live session tonight. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. Let me know if there are other questions. Drop them in the chat section. I'll pick it up and then I would talk about it next time. Okay, so I wish you a very nice evening, and then I'll hope to see you again next Tuesday. All right, bye.